Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Maverick here with episode 19 of Beastars Season 2. So, last episode was pretty damn funny, mostly courtesy of Legacy, of course, and his antics, or, his lack of awareness, whatever you want to call it. But then we ended on a little bit more of a serious note, right? With him finding out that he's gradually losing his biting strength, or biting force. Now, honestly, there's lots of different ways you can interpret this, lots of theories that you can throw out. I actually went for the more simplistic one, which is that maybe he's just not having enough sleep and enough rest nowadays due to all his training and other matters and whatnot. We definitely know that he is currently quite tired, right? Quite fatigued. Now, then again, I did briefly mention that maybe it's also trying to make this sort of parallel or this sort of reference or inferring that because Legacy is moving on to the path of zenness, if you will, and rejecting his carnivore tendencies, his carnivore instincts, that might also be why he's losing his strength. Now, I could see it pulling something like that, but I didn't really go there because how do you explain that scientifically, right? But in any case, if it's for the sake of the story, then sure. In any case, maybe we're gonna get into that, maybe not. The series does have a tendency of switching up the different characters right when you least expect it, so perhaps we're gonna move on to Louis a bit more this episode. In any case, let's get right into the actual story. Alright, so, I figured I'd just cut out the opening from now on because, just to save some time, of course. I will also still check through it to make sure that nothing has changed and whatnot. But in any case, let's just begin right in the episode in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, well, looks like we're carrying on. Perfect chance. Oh, is he going around drinking? Seriously? You Wait, what was that? Huh? What was that? I actually thought that was something completely different, but oh well, never mind. Hmm? The hell? Get this effing, doctor or vet or whatever they call it here. Really? What the hell kind of development is this? I mean, it should probably be the one who did it, but alright. How do you just... What? What? Just like that? What? What the hell is this episode? What? What the hell is this episode? What? What the hell is happening? What? What? I have no idea what is going on right now. Like, what? Just... Who made you the arbitrator? Me too.
操作するでしょ。演劇部の肉食部員に絞って調べればいいんだから小学生でもできる。
Damn, this dude is.
ま、チクったりはしないよ。厄介な状況なのはお互い様だけど、ひとまず今日は正義の勝ちだね。眠れない夜を過ごしてろよ。行きますよ、レゴシ先輩。
What? So he's basically saying his punishment is him wallowing in his guilt? That's basically it?
ずっと職員会議してるらしいよ。何があったんだろう。だが宿題の量えぐすぎだろ。
Okay.
連絡だって。来年度から本校チェリートン学園は
Okay. Segregation.
クラス分けし、完全別学とします。演劇部も来月から活動停止。
Oof.
ま、肉食草食共学の学校ってのも今では減ってきてるしな。遅すぎたくらいだよ。僕の母ちゃんも学校にクレーム入れたってさ。草食の親族はみんなそうだよ。飢えたクラスメイトと授業が受けさせられない。俺みたいな肉食獣には意見する権利はないかもな。いやいや、俺は演劇部随一の陽キャ。俺が暗くなってどうする。ビル。なんだヘルスか。びっくりした。一緒に部活行くか。聞いた。部活が。聞いたよ。今月いっぱいで活動休止か。びっくりしたよな、突然のことで。まあでも仕方ない。仕方ないの？エルスは喜べよ。自分の身の安全が確保されるんだぜ。よかったじゃねえか。無視。そんなことどの口が言ってるの？エルス。安全の確保だなんてビルに言われたくないわ。裏一ってところでこそこそ草食獣の肉を買って食べたくせに。なんでさ。とっくに部内の噂で広まってたもん。肉を食べたことも。エルスがメストラだったら俺マジだ。言ったことも。あんたとヤージなんて全部バレバレよ。それでもやってこれたじゃない。あ、バレるな。草食が怯える。これおすすめの漫画。その人の悪いところもいいところも全部見えてくるのがそれが部活動でしょ。なのにこういう時にどうしてあっさり戦が。あ、もういいエルス。怒鳴るの慣れてないだろ。ごめん、俺が悪かった。本当にごめん。抗議してみよう。俺も部活続けるよ。行こう稽古場に。しかしな、そう簡単にはいかないぞ。今日の通告のことだけど。人も遅かったな。これで全員揃った。それ部活を続けるべきだと思います。よし、問題は。
Okay. So this is like the one club in the school that's like very intent. Oh. Oh, these two. Uh-huh. Hmm. Yep. Yep.
眠れない夜を過ごしてるよ。
Wow. Damn. For the no, you would never thought that Peanut would be so.
身長2メートルを超えた熊科は、
あ、そう。
気を萎縮させる薬の服用を義務付けられている。熊科の圧倒的な強さは脅威だから。
So what happened between you and Tim? What the hell? Well, except for... Oh, hey, we are getting a flashback.
テムがいた。
改めて見ると体もやっぱり大きいなって思って。変なこと言ったかな。ごめん。
初めて言われたから驚いたんだ。怖いだなんて。
そっか。いや、ごめん。言い方が良くなかったかな。いつも賑やかなみんなを見る君の表情が気になっててさ。高い目線はやっぱり心細い？いつもどんなこと考えてるの？
蜂蜜よりもずっと甘い言葉たち。でもなんでだろう。僕今突然体が軽いよ。
何か悩んでるなら聞くけど、外でジュースでも飲む？
いいけど君さっき僕に。
怖いって言ったけど悪口じゃないもん。
テムは見たままを言う男だった。
Huh.
こんな薬クマカが飲んでたなんて知らなかった。大変だね。
今まで家族以外誰にも薬のことを言ってなかった。ましてや草食獣に打ち明けるだなんて。
Why not make it known?
むしろ言った方が何かと楽じゃない？
とんでもない。本当は怪力なのを薬で抑えてるなんて知ったらみんな引くよ。
That makes no goddamn sense.
水が優しいってこと？
Of course bears are strong.
問題もないよ。
優しい。本当の僕は優しくなんかないよ。何をもって優しさなのかよくわからないし。
ねえねえ、さっき僕と話したら体が軽くなったって言ったよね。もっとこれから頻繁に会おうよ、部活以外で。副作用が完全になくなるかもよ。
テムの提案は正しかった。数日テムとくだらない話をするだけでも僕の蜂蜜の消費量は減っていった。
Huh.
あいつのおかげだ。薬を飲むのも憂鬱じゃないや。これ
Have to take it?
僕に必要かな。
Don't tell me it ended up in an accident.
もっと近くしたい。テムとの距離を本当の自分のまま。
なんか今日のリズ、様子おかしくない？体が膨らんでるというか。
わかった。初めて薬を控えてみたんだ。
何やってんだよ。それはまずいだろ。
もう必要ないんだよ僕には。なんで逃げるの？
Oof.
テム待って。テム見て欲しかったんだよ本当の僕を。
The hell?
分かり合えるはずだろ僕たち。
そんなはずあるか。お前ら肉食獣なんてみんな怪物だ。
そう言い放ったテムの言葉と目は今までで一番美しく本物の友情のようで。
だからもう何も隠さなくていい。僕らは親友だよ。当たり前だろ。それほどの怪力は君の立派な個性さ。君の全てを受け入れるよ、リズ。もう苦しまなくていいんだ。
テム
Wait, what? So, wait, what?
テム。そこら中に飛び散った血液と肉片。必死の抵抗の痕跡。テムとの今までの思い出も。
What the absolute?
幻覚になるのは何としてでも避けなくてはならなかった。食感、色、温かさ、味、すべて僕の鮮やかな
Wow.
死ぬまで忘れちゃいけない僕の宝物。
What the apps? What? Oh man. Oh me, oh my. Well, I guess I will see you guys after this. Man, oh man, what to say about this episode? Like, there's really so much to talk about, and I'm not even sure if I can make coherent sense out of all this. But let's try, right? So first of all, this episode really came out of nowhere. The entire Riz situation, you know, the reveal that Riz is actually the one who killed and ate Tim. You know, not only that entire reveal and how it played out, but also like the true reason and what actually happened in the past, right? Like seriously, that went super postmodern a bit in the terms of, you know, with the visuals and what Riz is actually talking about and so on and so forth. But you know, I do have my own suspicions as to what actually happened there in the end. But and it kind of ties in with something that I've been talking about since the start of this series, right? This entire herbivore versus carnivore situation. And you know, I've always made very clear from the beginning that honestly I am much more sympathetic of the carnivore cause than the herbivore cause for, you know, reasons that, you know, I'll try to explain this within this episode as well, but I've explained it many times in the past also. You know, this entire resolution and then also like the, you know, bringing up these various conflicts between herbivores and carnivores, like in this episode with the usage of Tao and him ripping off Kiba's, I believe his name is Kiba, right? Kiba's arms off, Kibi's arms off and whatnot. Like, first of all, how was that supposed to happen? But okay, let's just assume that it happens, right? But you know, why do they instantly make this into a carnivore versus herbivore situation? And that's really the thing that I am so, that it's part of the reason why I'm so set on defending the carnivores within this series. It's just that, you know, this doesn't have to be this sort of issue, right? Like, you simply, in this matter, you simply chose to have a smaller herbivore versus a larger carnivore, right? And it's not even one of the largest carnivores either. So, you know, what would have happened if instead it was, we haven't seen any elephants so far, I don't think, but what if it was an elephant up against a fox doing the same thing? Are you so certain that the elephant wouldn't rip off the fox's arms or something like that, right? It's a matter of relative strength. It's not really just a carnivore versus herbivore kind of situation. And, you know, the instant mindset of everybody there to you know, have this sort of, oh, it's those carnivores, you know, the disgusting monsters, you know, that kind of thinking. And then also the carnivores sort of like, you know, all sort of balling up, you know, feeling this sort of scorn and almost this feeling of self-doubt and shame that they are a carnivore. I just don't think it's healthy in any sort of way, right? Like, you know, I can actually relate this to a lot of modern day issues as well in regards to like you know, male versus female or you know, like racial matters, black versus white, you know, that kind of stuff, right? And it always happens like that. And you know, it's not like I don't understand the thinking from the weaker side, if we will, right? You know, I can totally get that, and especially in the heat of the situation. Like, don't get me wrong, the Tao versus Kiwi situation, I'm not saying that Tao is not in the wrong there. I absolutely feel that he is in the wrong, and you know, if Kiwi doesn't, because, but I'm not pointing this out as a carnivore versus herbivore situation. It's more a fact that, hey dude, you are strong, so when, you know, when doing stuff with weaker members, regardless of if they're a herbivore or carnivore, you have to pay attention, right? It's a basic safety feature or safety concept. It has nothing to do with whether you're a herbivore or a carnivore here, right? Like, you know, that's why I brought up the elephant versus fox you know, analogy here, or say for instance, you know, even in like let me put it this way. You know, you're supposed to handle this, and regardless of whether you intentionally meant it or not, you still caused harm to others, right? Like, let me bring up a, like, what kind of example can I have? Like, let's say let's say two friends, right? Fooling around, children or whatnot. Let's say they're like, I don't know, elementary schoolers, maybe mid schoolers or something, and they're playing paintball, right? And then the other guy, and then when we're young, we like to do stuff like holding a gun to your head or something like that. And let's say it actually misfired, right? Split somebody's skull open. Maybe they didn't die, but they were severely injured. They had to go get stitches and whatnot. If that would happen, would that be intentional? Of course not, right? They're just playing around. It wasn't in any malicious intent or whatnot. Would you feel really, really bad about it, and potentially have to pay for compensation, or at least your parents have to, pay for the medical bills and whatnot? Absolutely, you have to do that, right? So, I absolutely feel that Tao should be, punished in some way, or if Kibi chooses to forgive him, which I'm mostly sure that he probably will, then still Tao would have to make a lot of amends to Kibi, right? And that depends on how he would choose to go about it, right? But I'm not saying I'm letting Tao off the hook here. I'm just saying that this really shouldn't be instantly viewed as this sort of issue here. And the thing about understanding the weaker side is I get it, right? Because like, even though the drama club at that time did have that sort of instant distrust and instant fear of Tao and whatnot, I can't really put the blame on them as well, because it's a spur of the moment thing. I'm sure that deep down they probably don't really feel that way against Tao or anything like that, right? But the spur of the moment thing, right? But it's the fact that it has to instantly be pushed towards this sort of thing is what really irks me in a lot of ways, right? And then moving on towards this Rez versus Tim thing here. So there's two main takeaways I have to say about this. One is that look at Riz's side first, right? Because obviously I'm not gonna let him off the hook for eating Tim, of course not. But what I'm saying here is, look, this is a society where they need to actually take medication in order to suppress themselves. Is this a good way to go about this, right? And if you're going to go about that, then why not, I don't know, remove the fangs or remove the teeth of all carnivores instead, right? Or maybe, make it so that all carnivores have to go through this muscle atrophy or whatnot. Like where does the limit lie, right? I just don't really think that that's a good way to go about it. And, honestly, I feel that it's like being a carnivore itself means that you are being prosecuted once you are born, right? You can say on the flip side that herbivores constantly live in fear and whatnot, but I don't know. It's just not. I just don't think this is a healthy kind of way to go about things. And talking about this, I feel like the entire Riz situation came about because, he was suppressing, and then finally allowing his true self to come out a little bit, and then because he was never, he never had this sort of feeling before, right? He never learned how to control himself when he wasn't suppressing himself, and that's what caused this tragedy. And that is why, actually, all the way back in Season 1, I argued immediately for the existence of the dark market, and in fact, I said it shouldn't be a dark market. It should be an actual thing, regulated and out in the open, right? Because, to me, at least my philosophy has always been, suppressing people's desires like this isn't real. It might be okay on the surface, but once it explodes, it's really going to explode, right? Like, not everybody is like Legacy and can be like him, and not to mention, we aren't even completely sure, like, what long-term effects it has on Legacy in the first place. So I instead of that, like, why not have a situation, why not have a place where the carnivores can act out their desires in in relative safety, regulated, and so on and so forth, and by allowing them to understand this, they might be able, or my feeling is that they will be able to rein themselves in because they know how to deal with this certain situation, and they know how to satisfy their desires or unleash their pent up emotions or whatnot when they meet it in the actual world, right? So that is why I kept on arguing for the existence of the dark market and so on and so forth. I feel like that would really contribute to a peaceful coexistence between herbivores and carnivores, more so than any other sort of artificial means, right? Because, eventually, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just like it's how do you define the limit, right? Like say for example, you say, okay, males, okay, so I'm not saying that females can't rape males, right? But of course, predominantly in our minds as well, it's normally the other way around, right? If we have any sort of sexual harassment thing, rape or whatnot, I'm not saying the other side couldn't happen, but predominantly it's one side versus the other, right? But based on that, are you going to propose that, hey, maybe we should castrate all men, right? Cut off all their dicks and whatnot, and so this won't happen anymore. Like where do you set the limit, right? Where do you set the line here? And I don't know. I feel like that's maybe not the best analogy here, but I feel like, to me, that's what carnivores are experiencing right now, and I don't know. I just feel like that's sort of way too over the top and not healthy for anyone. I much prefer if they have a way of allowing them to deal with these various emotions and these various instincts that they have, not just suppressing them, but actually allowing it to come out and to be released and to release their pent-up frustration and stress and needs and so on and so forth, right? So I feel like that's a much better way to go about all this. The funny thing here is I feel like Bill is actually, all things considered, one of the most well-adjusted carnivores there are, right? Like, I still don't like his somewhat, gloating and brash attitude and whatnot, but, in terms of being a carnivore, I think that he has the most healthy mindset, right now, of the others. Like, of course, using some drugs and duping yourself, going back to season 1 on stage and whatnot, that's honestly more questionable to me, but I feel like he's striking a nice balance as a carnivore in this sort of world where you have to coexist with the herbivores and whatnot, right? And I feel like he actually handles the situation pretty damn well. And definitely, I don't think segregation is the answer either, because without understanding each other, you're just going to lead into more and more divergent paths. And hey, at the very end, it might turn into a situation where carnivores are like, hey, let's take over the world, eat all the herbivores, right, or something of that sort. So yeah. Anyways, I think that's this came out like. There's so much that you can expand on this, but that's my feeling anyways. I feel like it's really not an easy, it's definitely, there isn't an easy answer or whatnot, but I don't think the carnivores should be suppressed, and yet on the other hand, I can totally understand why the herbivores would be would be fearful of their lives and live in constant fear and have those sort of emotions and whatnot, right? But the thing here is, I don't think that every single situation should be turned into an herbivore versus carnivore situation, especially in some of what happened here, right? And so on and so forth. And, like, honestly, who says that carnivores can only eat herbivores? Carnivores eat carnivores all the time as well, right? So why don't they ever display the sort of aggression and whatnot towards carnivores towards carnivores as well? So I feel like it's sort of forced in a way that it's only directed towards herbivores and all the incidents are only towards herbivores. I would really love to see actually an incident between two carnivores fighting and then one side eating the other or something of that sort, right? That to me feels like, I mean, it actually happened before, right? We saw that in the Shishigumi, right? They executed one of their traders, and I believe the trader was a carnivore as well, and they ate his meat, right? So, it certainly happens as well. And I don't know. I feel like I probably shouldn't ramble on. Anyways, beyond that, of course, Pina, definitely I turned some heads here. I have a completely different opinion of him now. Like, that was pretty badass, not gonna lie. I thought he was just an annoying, really self-centered character, but all things considered, I think he's actually quite smart, right? He already knows the sort of pain and trauma that that Riz is going through. And no, don't get me wrong, that's definitely not enough. You still killed somebody after all, and you killed your good friend as well. But it definitely. Pina's a pretty unique character. I instantly like him a lot more within this episode just because of what he did here. What else? Let's see. Anything else I want to specifically mention here? No, I think that's pretty much it. But yeah. Hopefully that came out easy enough to understand, on the various positions and whatnot. But once again, I really don't feel that continuing to prosecute and suppress carnivores is going to be the way to go moving forward here. That's just going to end in tragedy, to be honest. So, anyways, that's it for episode 19 of Beastars. Definitely a very, very interesting episode here. And, well, I will see you guys next week as well. And, maybe reach the conclusion of what's going to happen to Rez and what is the fate of the drama club and all that. So, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.